welcome to a special edition of NCCTV featuring the Clydesdale Colts of Newcastle County. County Executive Tom Gordon purchased 2 Clydesdale foals in 2013 with the idea that they would be trained for about 2 years and join the Newcastle County Police Mounted Patrol. These young horses have a way to go still, but they're coming along smashingly. We were recently on location at Carousel Park to see how the Clydesdale Colts were doing. Let's go to that segment. Hello, we're here with Sergeant Mary Devine at Carousel Park, and Sergeant Devine is going to speak with us about the 2 young Clydesdale Colts that County Executive Tom Gordon bought last year. Thank you for being with us.
Certainly, it's my pleasure.
And how old are these colts when we got them?
When we got WARDEN and Wrangler, they were 4 months and 5 months old, respectively.
Okay, and how old are they now?
Now they're just a little over a year, about a year and 3 months.
Okay, and I know that they came from a farm in Indiana. How long did it take for them to acclimate to suburban life?
You know, they were weanlings, so they didn't really know anything except their mothers when they arrived here, and so they actually acclimated pretty quickly because everything that they saw was new to them, and you know, it became normal very quickly because they no longer had their mothers here, so we became their mothers.
Okay. What are some of the things that they've been learning since they began training?
Well, we tease about every day being a learning and training day over here, and that not only goes with the colts, but with you know, our more seasoned horses. So we started training these colts with simple things like being able to touch them. They'd not been handled by humans. They didn't know how to walk on a lead rope. They didn't know how to. We couldn't clip them. We couldn't brush them. We couldn't bathe them. We couldn't really do anything. Pick up their feet, which they're necessary in order to be able to just provide them with basic care.
Okay, and what are some of the things they've been learning since they've been training?
Well, they've really picked up in the last 6 months. We've really had been able to put a lot of time into them, and they're at that stage where they're willing to learn and they're growing and they're more interested. So we've started to work on things that we know that they'll be exposed to when they go into the patrol unit. Things that we want them to learn is that is to not to be afraid of things, you know, to desensitize them. Horses are prey animals, and so they're afraid of pretty much everything. So we wanted to desensitize them to anything that they might see out there on the street that might cause them some concern. Obviously, we want to keep our officers safe while they're out there on the horses. So we started to introduce obstacle courses into their daily regimen.
And how long do you think their training will take before they're ready to join the Mounted Patrol?
Well, typically you can't really ride them until they're a little over 2 years old. We've started putting saddles on their backs, so they're familiar with how that feels and having a cinch around their waist. And so probably at 2.5 years we'll start doing some more intense training on, you know, riding and making them more accustomed to the kind of work that we do.
And why Clydesdales in particular? Why were they chosen for the Mounted Patrol?
They have a wonderful demeanor. They're sedentary. They're typically quiet. They don't spook as easily as some of the warmer blood horses, thoroughbreds and the like. They can be a little unpredictable, and we like predictable within our unit.
I understand that. Well, thank you so much for coming today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. And then now we're speaking with Mallory Marshall, a student from the University of Delaware who's working with Sergeant Devine. And first of all, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to work here at Carousel?
Like you already said, my name is Mallory Marshall, and I'm a pre-vet major down at the University of Delaware. I'm going to be a senior. And so one of the amazing things that UD does is they try to integrate students into ag-related, animal-related businesses. And so when I heard the internship was coming up, my guidance counselor gave me the application, and I'm here.
And what is your role in the ongoing training of the Clydesdales?
I work with them every time I'm there. The main thing recently has been bathing and then desensitizing them to the obstacles. And that includes also walking them around, because even leaves in the wind can scare them, so you have to calm them down and make sure they're okay with everything. But they made an incredible amount of progress.
I was actually going to ask, what kind of potential do you see in these horses?
I see an immense amount of potential in both of them. Warden is definitely, he's a little headstrong, he's spunky, he has a lot of personality, but he's very brave and he's willing to take the lead. So I think he can make a great police horse. Wrangler, on the other hand, is very sweet, very affectionate, and bonds easily to people. So you would also be amazing on the force.
That's really great to hear. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So the horses you're seeing here are all Clydesdales. The first one and the last one in that formation were two of our most recent acquisitions. These guys are pretty well schooled though. Elvis has been a police mount for about 8-10 years now, and so some of the obstacles that you're going to see them do are things that emulate something they might see or experience out on patrol that we want them to be comfortable with and not to spook. So Elvis just walked across that blue tarp, and you'll see that Big Red is standing over there on a metal grate. Metal grates you'll see in all of the roadways, the water overpasses. And you just saw Buddy walk across the teeter-totter. The teeter-totter is designed to demonstrate any kind of ground that might move, whether it be dirt or whether it be an unsteady bridge or anything else that might move while they're walking on it. So they have to have complete confidence in their rider and do what they're asked to do. Walk on things that they're not familiar with, walk across things that might look strange. Sometimes it's just a painted speed bump. Anything that's different in color can be uncomfortable for them, but we need them to go across because we asked them to. You see the ball, the large ball out at the end of the arena, along with the blue barrels out there. We also have to have our horses trained to push things, move things. We deal with disorderly crowds and riot control, and so we need our horses to go forward when we tell them to go forward, no matter what, even if something is in the way. And that's unusual for a horse. They don't generally do that. They're fight or flight animals. They're prey. So you'll see Elvis doesn't mind pushing that ball, and they do it very non-aggressively. So he'll put his nose on it, and he'll push it with his face. He'll actually push it with his chest if Bill asks him to. And what that's designed to do is to push a person if they need to. If people are in a crowd and they're refusing to move, it's a very non-aggressive way. The horses are just walking. They're not doing anything to intimidate or to harm. They're just walking. And so the horse can actually put his nose on someone's shoulder and nudge them, and they'll walk. You'll see Big Red back there, or Buddy back there, pushing the barrels, and that's the same kind of idea. Officer Schultz is pulling a loud water bottle. It has rocks in it. And so sound sensitive, horses are very sound sensitive, so we want them to be comfortable with any noises that they might hear out there. They'd be very uncomfortable with something following along behind them, like the water bottle is following along behind Big Red. And he's doing really well. You can see he's very calm, he's not concerned about it whatsoever. And you'll see the officers giving a reassuring pat when they do what they're supposed to do. All of the training is done with patience, repetition, and positive reinforcement. You see Elvis is getting ready to push the barrels out there, so he lines them up, brings them in, raises his head, and has him push it with his chest. That's the demonstration. Elvis is showing you how he can move the barrels. He can move it with his chest, with his nose, with his legs. And he'll continue doing it until his rider tells him to stop. They work together as a team. So we get both horses pushing the ball at the same time. And we work together as a team. So this is a perfect demonstration of what it would be like if we had two officers riding boot to boot to move a crowd. These are our new Clydesdale Colts. They're actually yearlings now. So the first one in the rotation there is WARDEN, and he's about 1 month older than Wrangler. And Wrangler is the one you see in the back here. He's a dark bay, and WARDEN is a light bay. The young lady that you see guiding WARDEN is our intern from the University of Delaware. She's been working with our team to train these guys. So what you saw was he's looking at the water bottle. It's different, it's unusual, it doesn't belong in his environment. He's going to make some noise. He's actually lipping it. That's good. It means he's comfortable. We look for anything. See, he's got it. It's in his mouth. So if it goes in his mouth, he's pretty comfortable with it. It's like children. He's walking across the grate now. Simulates any of the water grates that you might see out in patrol. Looking at the traffic barrel. He's not concerned about that. Well, the tarp can be a bit of a challenge, and the ball, because the ball's actually bigger than them, so anything that's larger than them in size can be very intimidating. As you can see, with a little bit of work, he's pushing it with his own nose. He's okay with it. And the tarp. That simulates anything unusual on the ground that he might have to step on, and horses don't like to do that. So that's a big progress there. They were really afraid of the tarp when we first brought him out. Unsteady ground, the teeter-totter. This has been a big problem for him. He's looking for a little backup. Cool. First, you want to go ahead in. You can start. We just try encouragement and taking your time. She's not going to pull him across. She's going to encourage, and want him to do it on his own. And as soon as he takes one step for progress, we praise. And he wants to. He's nervous. Any kind of pawing you see is a sign of nervousness. If they take a look at it, sometimes they want to look at it and smell it first. But we want them to be past all that by the time we get on them and get them out to the street. Part of the challenge for us too has been clipping and bathing, the normal routines that we have to do with these guys, washing their legs, their feathers, trimming their faces up with clippers, and Warden had a little bit more trouble with it, so he got a full clip. It was repetition. Usually the dark bay over there, Warden, is our braver of the two, but today it looks like, Wrangler is the braver of the two, and today Warden's going to take the lead. And you're going to watch Warden push the barrels, see what he's learned a little. Try it again. So he's so not concerned about the traffic barrel, he's going to pick it up himself. Let's see if we can't get him on the barrels over here. See if have a little bit of success with that this time. We start out by having him stand there and not be afraid of it. So if he puts his face on it, he's good. He steps towards it, that's positive reinforcement. So you see he's got his chest up against it now. Now we lead him through it.
Thank you for watching this special edition. For NCCTV, I'm Melody Kitchen. Have a good day.